Hello, everyone. This is Domina Sofia here at Domumsapientiae, the House of Wisdom. How are you? I am laughing because you know what? I say it again. I adore my goddess daughters and initiates right now because I've been mentioning the wealthy wife Paramour archetypes, and those who know their archetypes right now, the Pharaoh and the courtesan for the win. I received email earlier, probably yesterday, last night maybe, from one of my goddess daughters who is a Pharaoh archetype. And I know she's going to hear this. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you because she is honoring the truth of her power, her feminine power, through the frequency and the energy of the Pharaoh. Now, I believe she has an additional archetype that also ties into it, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. But I'm laughing because it literally is the Pharaoh and the courtesan archetypes for the win. The queen with a consort right now seems to be laying low. The wealthy wife archetype seems to be laying low. It must be something about this summer heat that has brought, which makes sense because pharaohs are generally from a very hot land and nation. And the courtesan, well, you know what, she fits in anywhere she chooses to be. But I love how much they are honoring their truth. We had a call for the Oracle's Keep this past Saturday. And as I mentioned, I will not discuss what they're working on, but what they're working on is actually something I know they've never worked on before in reference to how to really be present in your energy as a woman. Wealthy wife three, always, who are you? What do you desire in your whys? And they're really now having to own the energy of who they are because to do the assignments that they're working on from now until the fall, they must have clarity around who they are, what do they desire, how others can actually step up and assist them because once again, as women, we're not the best at receiving because our culture has taught us for so long that we're supposed to give some more. Pour that pitcher until it's empty and then find someplace else to give some more. So when they finally are in a space where they're now understanding that they're supposed to be on the receiving side. Yes, we still pour into others, but the pouring into others comes from our pitcher being full first. Others benefit from the overflow, and they happily pour into the pitcher because how the goddess daughters actually are interacting with the various men that are part of their world, and even building out friendships with women and potential opportunities for business. When you understand and are living your truth as a woman, because once again, we are the receiver, and you understand what that truth means to you. Once again, we're not worrying about somebody else's ideology. We don't care what somebody else thinks, how you should be doing you. My goal is always to remind you how to be you. Because while I can show and teach and once again cultivate, curate, and assist my goddess daughters and initiates, it is still up to them to take the information that they've learned and put it into use. I can only take you so far if you're unwilling to, meet me along the journey and then follow the guidance offered to you. And as I mentioned with the temple, because she is such a vast, I mean, I thought wealthy wife was something. Oh my gosh. Domum sapientiae, because once again, she is the container which holds everything else that I do. And she is a large container, to put it mildly. But as I continue to watch her develop, as I'm bringing in all of the things that I've been working on, sharing, doing, and being personally and in reference to what I offer others, I'm not going to lie. I am very, very happy because as I get to have conversations with the ones that I'm building with, because once again, I have counsel that I work with in reference to some things that I'm doing. Like I said before, I believe in, having the right people around to also assist me. Very important. But as I continue to have conversations and gain more clarity, I'm speechless because it's amazing. And this is something that I desire for those of you that are actually ready to also participate in your truth. And I also forgot to ask, have you taken the Paramour quiz yet? I know some of you have. I'm serious. Go take the quiz. You're going to learn some things about yourself that you may not have understood or knew about or were suppressing, or you're going to understand things based upon the archetype or archetypes which show up for you, and you're going to go, "Oh, see, I knew it. I knew it. I knew this about myself." And you too, with the proper guidance and the proper environment. Because remember, those archetypes are being nurtured and curated and taught under the umbrella of Domum Sapientiae because they are my creation based upon all of my years of research and development, curation, doing, being myself. I only deal with powerful women, just so you know. Because as a powerful woman, I learned years ago it is impossible to be present with those who choose to continue giving away their power, or for those who deny their power, or for those who want to come after you for your power. All of the above is their problem. It's never my problem. My job, my responsibility is to be the best version of me possible. So I'm able to assist those because I am here to curate and create space for other women to learn their personal truth and become dynamic. So that's only possible if my foundation is strong. And trust me, mine is. I told you, we know this. I love me some me. A lot. Immensely. But anyway, take the quiz and also get yourselves registered for the masterclass. Because once you understand your archetype or archetypes, the masterclass is going to really assist you, especially for those of you that are new. And if you're already, because I've got, you know, goddess daughters who will be joining me for the masterclass on Sunday. And what I appreciate about them is they understand the constant refinement, the constant evolution. Because even once you discover who you are, you're still refining. That's the beautiful thing about living. It's if you're living your life, you're always going to be elevating. You're always going to be evolving because as you learn about yourself and you decide to be yourself, a whole new world opens up. And things that you may have been denying or things that, like I said, you may not even known. Because you may discover, let's say, for example, you step in and you are the courtesan archetype. And you've been trying to live small and, trying to be tiny and be invisible. And oh my gosh, I don't want to rock the boat. Oh my goodness. And what happens is when you, especially as a Pharaoh energy, because I say it again, the archetypes are all very powerful women. When you keep taking away from yourself and depleting yourself and giving pieces of yourself away to other people, because that energy that's supposed to be your power, you give to others, which empowers them. And they just want to keep coming back for more and more and more. And then one day you wonder why you're sick, why your body bothers you, why your head bothers you, why your nervous system's offline. There are tons of reasons why this happens because you continue to feed yourself to other people energetically, and they don't appreciate. There's no appreciation from them. They expect you to do it, especially if you've been doing it for a while. So when you finally decide to own the energy, and we're doing the cortisone right now, or we're doing the Pharaoh. I forget. Anyway, I think we're doing the cortisone. I'm sorry. My mind, I'm laughing because I kid you not. I told you, Pharaoh or cortisone, whomever I selected previously. I think it was the cortisone. Well, what's the cortisone? When you finally stop trying to fight the nature of who you are. And I'll say it again, I love all four archetypes, but the courtesan is always going to be my favorite. She is. She always, because I'm a courtesan and Pharaoh and the other two also. I have energetic ties too. But the courtesan and the Pharaoh, absolutely my favorites. But that courtesan has my heart because she had the most freedom of movement and she had access to so many people, especially men. And remember, not just any man, she had access to the wealthiest men. And when she was a wise woman, she became a wealthy woman. And she had the option to pick and choose who she was going to allow in her world. Where Pharaoh, she's kind of locked into some situations and circumstances because of her position. She's running a nation for crying out loud. So some folks she would like to get rid of, even though Cleopatra was very, very, very good at getting rid of her enemies, and folks she didn't agree with because they weren't above you disappearing people forever. Um, we're not quite doing that right now. I'm sure some places still exist, but whereas that's not no, we avoid that because we're making sure we choose the people who are beneficial for us and we can also pour into and have a desire to pour into. But that courtesan, like I said, she could up and move. She had freedom of movement. She's a courtesan in this country, doing her thing, building wealth, making great connections, has great lovers and benefactors and patrons, et cetera, et cetera. And then one day she goes, I'm ready to retire. She has her wealth, her jewels, her properties, her everything. She's a wealthy woman. And she says, you know what? I'm going to move. And she'll go to a whole nother country, adopt a whole new identity, and live a grand or grander life. And she was able to do so because she understood human nature, psychology, masculine psychology. She understood business, money, stewardship of money. She understood many things because she had available to her the best of the best when it came to men. And when men understand and know that you're about something yourself, remember, we're the purpose. So they want to pour in and assist. So the courtesan, yes, the courtesan is definitely my fave of all four. But I would love to know who you are. Who are you showing up as? And then come Sunday, for those who join me, we will be discussing how to actually utilize, articulate, and enjoy your particular archetype. Where she enjoys spending time, activities that lined up with that particular energy, who she's attracted, who are the best fits for her in reference to men. We'll be discussing not every single man, but the energies of the men who are going to be the best fit for the courtesan. The goddess daughter I just mentioned. And it's so funny because when they realize that the power and the influence that they have over men, and it's not because they're working on doing this, it's just because they're being authentic. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I am I this man's muse?" Because I get that question periodically. Because they'll explain a situation, they'll explain a circumstance, and they'll explain a man or men that are showing up in their world. And I'm like, yes, you're the muse. You are this man's inspiration. This man is doing well and will continue to thrive because he has you as in his sight. He has you as part of his vision quest, his vision plan, so to speak. That always makes them happy. Because here's the kicker. Remember, you've been taught that as a woman, we're underneath men, we are below men. When you finally know your power, you understand that, once again, you're the blueprint, you're the prototype. They are here to serve you, but you must understand how to articulate what that means for you. So, this is going to be a short audio. Take the quiz. Once again, I would love to hear from the rest of you. What was the archetype that showed up for you? And also, join us on Sunday. Learn about your archetype. Because once again, I've got his daughters joining me that know their archetypes, and they're still showing up because of the desire to continue refining and learning even more about the energy and frequencies that are part of who they are. So anyway, check it out. Join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We do. We have such a great time on these gatherings, and I look forward to sharing more information with you. Have an awesome day. Bye bye.